hate this channel.
So we have just finished up with Chris Dobie. There'll be an interview with him and Jonny in the next week or two, depending when we get round to editing. It's really, really good, so keep tuned to that. Rob is here somewhere. Where are you, Rob?
Hello.
There he is. We've got Everton on Tuesday. I'm down there. Cal's down there. Paul's down there. John's getting some soup made or something in Barrow and Furnace. Don't know what he's doing. What are you doing, Rob?
I'll be following the game.
I'll be following the game. I should be. I'm just getting a soup measured up by £7.
You can follow that on Newcastle Fans TV, can't you?
Definitely.
So this is the preview, and we'll crack on with it. It's just a generic one. So Everton's form then, Rob. A little bit hit and miss. We've touched upon on the radio show with getting beat by the reserves. A wonder goal, don't get me wrong, by who was it? Was it Curtis Jones?
Yeah, Curtis. Yeah.
Brilliant goal, but they were a bit of hit and miss, and I think Ancelotti will probably not find his best form, I would think, or his best side, the players that he wants until next season. But we don't have a good record at Goodison.
Goodison.
With the wooden seats.
Oh, yes, yes, the garden shed. Yes.
Is bigger than this.
Probably is, actually, this building.
Yeah.
The garden shed is bigger than this. There's one dislike off the Evertonians.
But yeah, we don't have a good record there on that side of Merseyside. But then it is a big game. It is a big game because we're both level on points. You get a win and we're guaranteed, especially it's really cramped in that middle section of the table that we're part of. So get a win and that could knock us up a few places, and people might actually start talking about European football. But I'd rather be talking about FA Cup football rather than...
I'd rather talk about safety than European football still at this stage, Johnny. But
long time to go.
With the tune, because we've seen... Obviously, Williams, so I think Rich will come in, that's pretty much guaranteed, but does he risk saint-maximin again, or does he change it around? Not just saint-maximin, I'm talking, there's people who like John Joe Shelby, another one. Does he rotate this game and focus more on Oxford?
I would, personally. I would like to see Matty Longstaff in from the start against Everton, rest Shelby. He's only played, 1.5 game, roughly, of football since his injury. I'd like to see the likes of maybe, I don't know, who else is there? I think Joe Linton's going to have to start because he's the only striker we've physically got, unless Andy Carroll's going to be on the bench to play some part. But I think Atsu are coming for saint-maximin, I really do.
Are you watching, Paul?
Unfortunately, man, I know you're doing that journey, but no, the reason why I say that, I've seen him in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and the runs that when he gets the ball, which we've seen, he just wasn't going at high tempo. And he does put a hell of a cross.
Probably the only thing, and I've said this before, the only thing with Atsu is a graft, Danny.
Defensively, I think personally, defensively, he can do a job in the Premier League. It's just attacking, he just has no threat whatsoever. Everton will not be frightened by Christian Atsu. They had Christian Atsu at Everton, and he wasn't very good there. I'm not saying he's a bad player, I just think, attacking-wise, I've mentioned this again, he does not offer you anything. That's why we miss the likes of Almir and saint-maximin when they're injured, because we haven't really got another outlet. But you never know, we might have another body through the door, with those who've been linked with that Inter Milan winger as well.
Lazaro, he was in our squad actually today, though.
Yeah, which is interesting, but his agent was there. He had to have a fantastic time, Instagram and everything, at the game on Saturday. So
let's just hope it's not Ashraf Lazar's agent.
Well, maybe get him in Italy, that'd be good. But no, in all seriousness, if we can get that one over the line, maybe another one, then Newcastle's attacking options look better. But like Rob says, it's still a big game for Newcastle, and if we can, even a point would be a good point away at Everton, who haven't lost under Ancelotti at Goodison yet.
Rob, do we play to our strengths, or do we focus on Everton's strengths? Great question, Lee.
It is. Well, I think Everton, they do have good strengths, but at the same time, ones that we can easily stop, because, Bernard, I think, is a great winger. They do. Calvert-Lewin is looking really good at the moment because he is getting good
he's
service.
Got 11 goals in total now. Yeah,
because of the service that he's getting. So I think our primary objective would be to stop the service, and then at the same time try and play them on the counter. I think that's the best way of stopping Everton.
And then obviously we'll talk a little bit more probably at Goodison about Oxford. But what's more important for you two, Everton or Oxford?
Oxford.
But why?
For me, Oxford, it's the best chance to get us to the fifth round of the FA Cup. Look, I'm confident now that Newcastle can't stay up. If you're asking Steve Bruce to get 3, maybe 4 wins from now at the end of the season with the teams that we've got to play from now at the end of the season. I expect Newcastle now to be a Premier League team next season. And the FA Cup, I don't expect Newcastle to win the FA Cup. However, if you keep getting through the odd rounds, you never know. And Oxford at home, we couldn't have really asked for a nicer game on paper. There's still a chance that Oxford could perform an upset. You know, they're not a bad team. They're above Sunderland in the table in League One, so they're no mugs. But you're asking, when you get past the fourth round, you're 2 games away from Wembley, and if you get the right draw, you never know. Like I said, we've talked about Wigan and Hull being in FA Cup finals. Wigan actually won the FA Cup not long ago. Can Newcastle really? I would start believing if Newcastle could get a half decent draw, if they get past Oxford and have a half decent draw in the 5th round, thinking we've got half a chance at Wembley. Yeah, if we can play our cards right. But I would still play our full strength team against Oxford. I would play the likes of Dubravka's. If Fabian Schär needs minutes, I would play him as well because he's still a very, very good centre half. But I would play
beautiful centre half.
But I would play your Miggies, your Saint-Maximins, your Joe Lintons or Carrolls. I'd play all these players because we might not get a better chance to get past getting past the 4th round.
So I presume, obviously, Rob, you echo that as well.
Yeah.
Let's get some score predictions then. I think most people are going to say 1-1 draw because that's what I'm going to say. I think you are going to say
that's what I'm going to say as well.
Yeah. Why, Rob?
1-1. It's both teams are going to be quite tired. I think both teams were pushed right to the limit yesterday. Well, on Saturday when they played in their respective matches, and I can't see us losing, but at the same time I can't see us winning it.
It's just a funny one, isn't it? Because I think if you ask Newcastle and Everton, do you want to play this game on Tuesday? I think they'll probably say, no, I don't want to play a little bit later on, like in February or March, because it seems to be game after game after game after game. And then you've got FA Cup games. It's very, very tough.
That's a nightmare to edit. Do you know that? It's an absolute nightmare. We'll wrap up. Obviously, if you've got gold membership on YouTube, there was a live stream coming from me on the way down, Everton, so stay tuned for that. Paul and Kyle are down there as well. They're going to be doing the drive down preview, so it allows me to do that live stream. And of course, we'll bring you all the reaction from Newcastle Fans TV, who lead the way. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.
When I walk into the kitchen, you saw the look on my face, you saw the look on my heart to get out of this place. I seen something I've never seen before. When you put on the pineapple, we couldn't be friends anymore. Pineapple thousand, go on pizza.